Hey everybody, you will see I'm looking a little puffy-eyed this morning. It's been a rough 2 weeks. Last week marked 6 months since Josh died, so it was quite an emotional week for us here in the Castle household. Even though it's been 6 months, there are still many days when I wake up and it's not real. It just sort of feels like Josh has been away. So this last few weeks, or the last week or so, has been quite tough. We have been exceeding our 2 cries a day quota here. And today I'm feeling particularly emotional because a woman who you probably haven't heard of, a woman called Linda Shwartz, died of complications of lung cancer yesterday, and I found out just now. And why is she important to me? Well, I've never met her in person, but most of you will know that when Josh was very first diagnosed, he was diagnosed by pediatric oncologists who had never really heard of cholangiocarcinoma, let alone know how to treat it. And you will also know how much anger I have towards these particular pediatric oncologists because they really didn't look further than their nose, and they sent Josh home with no treatment plan to die. And it was only through the efforts of people like Linda at the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation. I don't even remember how I found her, but I came across her email address and reached out to her, and she, along with other people like Marla and I do, were kind of a voice of sanity, saying to us, it's ridiculous not to try and treat someone. He's 14. And in those really dark days, in those really, really dark days, Linda was compassionate and sane, and she told us what questions to ask, and she got us to look at adult oncologists, and that's how we got to Dr. Van Eerden, who, as you know, gave us an amazing year with our son before he died. So I'm feeling a little bit rough this morning. She was an awesome woman. I don't even think she knows the difference that she made to our family, and I know that we were only one of many, many families that she helped, and she never once let us know that she was fighting her own battle. So I don't believe there is an afterlife, but if I am wrong, Linda, I'm thinking of you today, and I'm definitely thinking of your family. Anyway, on with the book. The great news is galleys arrived from the Amazon version of the paperback version. So if you are outside South Africa, in about another week or so, you will be able to order your paperback copy. For those of you who are not e-reader people, it will come in at $5.99. For South African paperback readers, some good news. I have been bullied into finding a local print-on-demand printer, and I imagine that it'll come out probably a little more expensive than the Amazon one. We've got pricing, and we are sending the artwork and what have you to them at the moment. So within the next week or so, we should have details on that. I have no idea yet how we will actually do the mechanism. I will probably need to set up e-commerce on the website. So the website is pennycastlewriter.com. If you haven't already signed up for the newsletter, do sign up there, because that is where you will get details once we know how we're going to organize selling it. Also, what's quite exciting is I listened through the edited version of the audio files for the audio version of Cure yesterday. There were 1 or 2 little edits, but I'm hoping to get those files back hopefully today, if not early next week. And then I can submit those through to a crowd called Findaway Voices, and they will help me get distribution onto places like Audible and all the different audiobook purveyors, shops. So as soon as that is live, I will send you details of that. But I'm really excited. We're excited about that in the Castle home because despite having a mother and a brother who like to write, Christopher doesn't like to read, but he does like to listen to audiobooks. So he's really excited about the prospect of getting an audiobook. once I know more in terms of pricing and distribution, I will send those details on. Again, sign up for the newsletter, because that's where you get this without having to hope that Facebook actually shows it whilst you're online. What else do I need to tell you about? It's been like a week of really important stuff for the book, but things that you wouldn't necessarily see about as somebody in the public domain, figuring out how to do Amazon marketing and adverts and get it into the right categories within Amazon. It's a little bit fiddly and a little bit time consuming, but all the stuff that hopefully will help us to get to this point where we get Joshi to be a best-selling author. What else do I want to tell you about? Oh, next week I'm meeting with a lady called Marge, who is a PR person for writers in South Africa, with a view to finding out what she can do to help us get some press and some excitement going locally within South Africa. I'm really hoping that then we can get to some point where we have some kind of event, so that those of you who are local, we can have a bit of a book launch, and those of you who want paperback copies could maybe get it there. So as soon as I have met with Marge, I think that's next Friday. Hopefully it goes well. I've never met Marge before, but hopefully she can help us with something there, and I will give you more details as and when that comes up. The other thing that I did this week that I am really excited about personally is I spent a little bit of time with Carol Cole, who is the amazing person behind this wonderful book cover. When I told my writing mentor I was going to get a local person to do the book cover, he was like, "Oh, are you sure? Will she know what she's doing?" And yesterday, the mentor crowd sent me a note saying they think it's fabulous. And I am really excited by that. I think it stands up proudly against anything that's available in the market in terms of a beautiful book cover. Obviously, we need to see how it sells to know if I am right. But I think I'm right, because I think Carol's fabulous. The nice thing for me about Carol, what Carol and I were talking about, is what about the next two books? So most of you will know that I'm not actually a science fiction writer. The genre I tend to write in is a memoir, and I have completed the manuscript of the main book, which is called Cultivating Happiness, which is all about my attempts, usually with horrifying but funny for other people results, to implement positive psychology techniques. So it is about me failing at silent retreat, failing at Bikram yoga, failing at pretty much everything, but in the process, how that contributed to my happiness. As most of you will know, I've spent the last 10 years or so helping people focus on their happiness. And even Sonia's here with me, and she was one of the fools who with me was actually a happiness consultant for a period of time. So that book I am hoping to get out in the last quarter of the year. And so Carol and I were talking about cover designs for that. And I am currently writing also a companion piece, which will also be like a short book like this one is, that will be a freebie on Amazon, just because I'm an unknown author. And I am busy. I'm about halfway through that little piece at the moment. So Carol will also be designing the book cover for me on that. So I'm pretty excited about those two. Again, let me punt to you. If you want to be kept updated and not be hit and miss with kind of whether you happen to be here when Facebook Live is on, or whether Facebook deems to make it visible on your newsfeed, sign up. You can go to pennycastlewriter, all one word, .com, and sign up for the newsletter, and then you will get these updates. The final thing that I just wanted to tell you about is, as most of you will know, I've kept a blog at My Garden Crush for years and years. Over the coming weeks and months, it is my intention to merge that with Penny Castle Writer. I'm not 100% sure technically how I'll do it, but if you find that you were on the mailing list of My Garden Crush and you now turn out to be on the mailing list of Penny Castle Writer, that is because I'm merging those two websites. Just kind of for ease of maintenance, that I'm not trying to do posts on multiple places. That is about me. Big kiss and lots of love to our friend Michaela. I've spoken about Michaela before. Michaela is our friend who's fighting lymphoma at the moment. She had an absolutely devastating piece of news yesterday that the stem cell donor who had been tested and was a perfect match for her, and she was due to go in next week and have her stem cell transplant, that person pulled out. We obviously don't know why because it's anonymous. Michaela, you are amazing. You are courageous. I am blown away by how you treated this. The good news is that there seems to be another donor, also someone from Germany, somebody who's really young, 19 apparently, who is not quite as good a match, but is going through testing at the moment. Michaela, we are holding fingers and thumbs and sending you every good vibe we can that person's a match. Guys, I will put the link on this. Follow Michaela's story. She is the most remarkable individual. If you ever want to know why you should become a donor, whether that's a blood donor, a stem cell donor, an organ donor, Michaela is the kind of person who you are doing it for. I'll put the link on, but guys, follow her story. She is amazing. Okay, a bit of an emotional update today, but I guess it is what it is in this horrible journey that cancer has put me on. Okay, chat to you soon. Bye.